Being beautiful in 2026 is not just about how you look, it's about how you show up. It's about the energy that you embody and that you bring into every room you enter. It's how you walk. It's how you take care of yourself. It's quite literally the it factor that every single beautiful person has, but no one can put into words. Hey everyone, welcome back to Just Like Magic with Julia. Today, let's talk about how to become even more beautiful in 2026. And I'm not just talking about trendy beauty. I'm not just talking about being put together. I'm talking about that type of beauty that people can't explain. And if this is something that you want to tap into, keep watching because this video is for you. Okay, so let's get into it. And so the first way to possess that quality and to be more beautiful is to fall in love with yourself, really yourself. Self-love really is the foundation of beauty. Because when you love yourself, it creates a ripple effect. When you love yourself, you start treating yourself better. You start showing up for yourself more. You're prioritizing yourself. You're putting yourself first. Maybe even your internal dialogue, the way that you talk to yourself, is becoming more graceful and more softer. And those shifts, even though they're quite often overlooked, create the biggest shifts in your energy, which creates the foundation of your beauty. I know that we've all probably seen beautiful people who we just can't quite put the finger on what makes them so alluring, what makes them that it girl, what makes them that person that people want to talk to and get to know more. And it's truly all about energy, the way that you carry yourself. And when you love yourself, you're creating a foundation for that energy. When you value yourself, when you understand your worth, when you understand that you are the only person on this planet Earth that can determine your worth, you and God. When you forgive yourself and realize, damn, I'm only human, I've made mistakes, I'm a person too. When you accept the things that you can't change and you start respecting yourself, people will follow, people will do the same. Because a lot of people feel like they have to wait for someone else to determine their worth and to lead them into loving themselves. But the truth is, you do that first. You get to decide who you are, who you become. You get to wake up every morning and pour into yourself or to take away from yourself. And the truth is, if you take away from yourself, you're depleting yourself. You're depleting yourself of value. You're operating out of desperation. You're asking someone else to pour into you when you're not even pouring into you. So how could anyone else? But when you take lead, when you look in the mirror and say, you know what? I am who I am. I am human. I've done things wrong. I've done things right. But today I am going to love me. You take lead on your own life. You determine your own value and you take your power back. That creates energy. That right there is super powerful. And when you make that choice for yourself, girl, people will follow. You know why? Because when you do that, you're deciding right then and there that you are the investment. You are the investment that you are going to make. Not just for approval, not just for people, but for you. You know what? Speaking of investment, speaking of self-love, right? Because we're in November of 2025. Now, this time of year, Black Friday is coming up. Ooh, Christmas is coming up. Holidays are coming up. If you're a Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, your birthday season is here. And I know that this is peak time that we want to buy things that make us feel beautiful for a moment. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I love makeup, I love skincare, I love fashion. However, we're buying these things to give us a boost. These are temporary things. These are short-term things because guess what? When we go to bed at night, we're wiping off that makeup. Unless you're sleeping with your makeup, which is a whole other problem. We're taking off our earrings. We're taking off our designer clothes, whatever it is that you're buying. But everything internal stays with us. Those things are temporary. Those things are additions. They're not actually real investments. They're short-term investments. Right now, I could take off my earrings. I could take off this beautiful shirt. I could take off my lashes and I'm still gonna love me. As a matter of fact, boom. because the kind of beauty I'm talking about does not fade. There needs to be more than just appearance. You need to have presence, and that comes from within. Because true self-love isn't about how you look, it's about how you live. When you truly love yourself, when you have actual self-love, you start taking care of yourself. You want to put in effort into taking care of yourself. And you realize that beauty isn't something that's just exterior, it also starts from within. And I'm serious about that because I know a lot of people say that, and it's so easy to kind of cross that out as a cliche, but it really is true. Because when you start from the inside and you start from a place of love for yourself, you develop long-term love for yourself. You make investments that are not just additions to your beauty. You make long-term investments. You start taking care of yourself and thinking about what's actually going to fulfill you, not just for a moment, but long-term. Your whole perception of what makes you beautiful shifts because you've decided that no matter what, you are beautiful, period. And when you love yourself, you realize that beauty is deeper than just outward appearance. And the more you love yourself, the more you begin to make real investments into the things that will enhance that energy, both internally and externally. So I'm not saying not to shop the Black Friday sales, not to get new makeup, new skincare, new clothes. However, also consider doing something and investing in something that goes towards loving yourself in a long-term way. And I just want to make a note really quickly. Sometimes we think that when we invest in ourselves in a serious way, it automatically should feel good. And the truth is, sometimes when we invest in something new, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel scary. It may not always feel good, but sometimes we have to face it not feeling good at first and do things that are challenging to feel good later. Those investments, that energy, that effort that you put into yourself and taking care of yourself internally and externally will radiate. And that's what people really see when you walk into a room. That's the glow. The second way to become more beautiful is by tapping into your authentic self. What's really you? What do you really value? What do you firmly believe in? What goals do you have? What change do you want to make in this world or in yourself? Finding what's authentic to you means finding what really feels good to you, not what looks good to others. And the reason why this is such an important piece in being beautiful is because when you are authentically yourself, you align with other people, with other places, with other things that are also authentic to you. And you are in harmony and in peace because you're aligning with things that feel good to you naturally. Now, I know that this sounds like very easy, but the truth is a lot of us are misaligned. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was too at some point. Because misalignment looks like toxic friends. Misalignment looks like going to a job every single day that you hate. Misalignment looks like an unhealthy relationship or an unhealthy situationship. When I was in college, I swear I could not have been more misaligned. I swear to you, I was trying to water myself down and become a version that everyone wanted to see. It was almost like I was living to kind of be everyone's cup of tea. And obviously, I failed at that. I had a lot of friendships in my life at that point that were draining me, were exhausting me. And it's because we just had completely different values. A lot of the people that I was hanging around at that time really liked to gossip about others. And that's not where I was at that time. But because I was so scared of letting it go, because I had a lot of fear of what would happen if I let go of friendships that I had for a while at that point, I held on to it. And in turn, it depleted me. It depleted my energy and it affected my appearance. It affected my external appearance because when you're not good from within, when you're prioritizing everyone else and not loving yourself first, it shows. Going back to point number one. And so I had to find what was authentic to me and have the courage to walk away from things that were misaligned. And that's when everything began to shift. Because when I tell you I was walking those streets looking crazy, It was bad. If I have pictures, I'll insert them, but I think I burned them all from that point in my life. I was walking around depressed. I felt lost. I felt like I was misunderstood, all because I was attaching myself to people and to opportunities that really did not reflect who I was as a person, because I was trying to water myself down for everyone else to get that validation, to get approval. And girl, it was doing quite the opposite. So when you love yourself first, then you begin to prioritize finding your authentic self. And guess what? When you find that authentic self, you align with who you are and you stop attracting and chasing what drains you. Those unhealthy relationships, gone. Those toxic friends, gone. But guess what? Don't fear that just because you have to let go, better will not come. It absolutely will. Because when you tap into what authentically feels right for you, you start attracting what's meant for you. And this kind of alignment changes your presence. It changes the way that you show up. The best thing that you could do for yourself is to only give your time to what truly feels authentic to you, what truly feels like what's in alignment for you, because everything else is just a waste. If you have to show up and you have to shield a part of who you naturally are, you're not even showing up as you. And there's no way that you could feel or be beautiful in that, because you feel like you have to dim yourself down. It feels like you have to perform. But when you're in alignment and when you're being authentically you, you're no longer performing, you're just being. And when you're just being you, you attract easier because you enter a state of flow. And that just breeds effortless confidence. The way you walk changes, the way you carry yourself changes. You might even stand up a little taller, your shoulders, push them back, you know? That glow will be so beautiful and so big and bright because it's authentically coming from you and no one can take it from you. That brings me to our third way to be more beautiful in the new year, which is let yourself shine. Now, I talk a lot about how sometimes we get in our own way. Sometimes people create habits or systems that they don't even realize keep them from shining because they dim their own light first. Maybe it was a childhood situation, maybe it was a family situation, maybe it was a really toxic relationship that ruptured your self-worth. And girl, that's why rule number 1 is to find that self-love, self-worth, and number 2, to prioritize being authentic, because none of number 3 can happen if the first 2 aren't done. Because when you love yourself, when you undo that programming of thinking that you're not worthy because maybe someone didn't validate you or approve of who you naturally are, or did quite the opposite, and when you have beliefs that who you are authentically aren't good enough, then it almost feels like you're set up for failure. We have to undo all of the little negative habits that you picked up along the way. And that means quitting holding yourself back. That means speaking up. That means stopping those negative thoughts, stopping the spirals and the rumination and the overthinking. Because no one on this planet Earth is worth dimming your light for. Let me tell you something. I've said it before and I will say it again. You have one life. One. Now, I don't know about you, but I haven't met anyone that's come back, right? Why would you want to live limiting yourself? Because I don't know about you. I want to live to my greatest capability. Life is too short to dim your own light. You deserve to shine in whatever that means to you. If it's going for the thing that you're scared to do, if it's applying for the job, if it's raising your hands in class, if it's speaking up and using your voice, if it's posting that video that you've been wanting to post and have been thinking about, if it's creating a channel, whatever that looks like to you, you deserve to give yourself the chance to truly shine. Because there is nothing more beautiful than a woman who is unapologetically herself and gives herself permission and looks nowhere else for that. A woman who is not waiting for permission to exist. A woman who is just going after what's authentic to her, what feels right, and letting herself be free. That's what being beautiful in 2026 is really about. Not about perfection, presence. It's not about buying the glow, it's about becoming it. Because when you love yourself, when you tap into your authentic self and you let your light shine, You do not just look beautiful, you are. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you liked it and you want to see more content. I will talk to you beautiful ladies very soon. Bye.